Sawadee krap, I'm JP Mestanza, and it's Monday, August 26th. You're watching Phuket Extra, brought to you by PDCPhuket.com. Phuket is still reeling from the devastating landslide that killed 13 people early Friday morning in the south of the island, and cleanup operations are now underway at the site as government agencies work to provide compensation to disaster victims. The landslide, which began on the steep hill behind the Big Buddha statue at the summit of the large hill, it took place at about 5 a.m. on Friday, and reports say it hit a hotel, houses, and workers' living quarters, with the victims sound asleep as the mud slid down the mountain. Search and rescue operations began immediately, and the bodies of 13 people were all discovered by mid-Saturday afternoon. The dead include 9 Myanmar workers, 4 men and 5 women. 2 of the victims were a Russian couple, and 2 others were Thai women. Many of the victims who survived are receiving care at a shelter set up at Kata Temple. It was all hands on deck during rescue operations and now cleanup efforts, with the Deputy Interior Minister visiting the landslide site to offer assistance to victims. The Phuket Provincial Electricity Authority is working to prepare and restore power to the area, particularly along Patong Road, Soi 2 to 8, where fallen rocks and trees damaged several power poles and lines, causing power loss in the area. The team has been using drilling machines to break apart large rocks blocking the roads and backhoes to clear the debris, making it easier for the repair crews to work. The Phuket Provincial Office has officially declared certain areas as disaster zones due to the landslide and flooding from the heavy rains overnight into Friday, including Mu 8, 9, and 10 of Chalong, where 260 households and 817 people were affected. In Rawai, Muban 1 and 2 were affected, a total of 55 households and 134 people. In Karon's Muban areas of 1, 2, 3, and 4, 114 households and 382 people were affected. All of the deaths took place in Karon's Mu 2 area on Soi Patak 2, which has also seen 19 people injured there. Donations of survival kits and drinking water and food are being provided by the Phuket branch of the Red Cross Society, the Big Buddha Foundation, and others. The subsequent floods in the area have also heavily impacted parts of Kata, especially at the southern end of Kata Beach Road, where the earth has given way from the road to the beach. Still, more rain is expected in the coming days, and disaster officials are advising residents to stay alert for potential flash floods and mudslides. Meanwhile, reports say that some locals in the area have been concerned for several years over the development on the Nakert Hill, the area where the landslide originated, with Deputy Interior Minister Chada Taiset also addressing those concerns. The landslide is clearly seen having originated behind the Big Buddha Temple, a large multi-year construction project that received legal government sanction through the Department of Forestry back in 2002. The president of the Big Buddha Foundation expressed his regret over the incident over the weekend and has since assured that all construction activities remain legally sanctioned. While speaking to reporters about the upcoming investigation into the landslide, Deputy Interior Minister Chada said, quote, "Some areas have been encroached upon legally, some illegally. We need to study clearly whether the impact from the mountain range is truly due to temple construction." Stay up to date on this story at thephuket.news.com. The rain seems like it won't be letting up anytime soon, as a weather advisory has been issued for the upper Andaman Sea provinces, including Phuket, warning of more heavy rain and strong winds from now through to this Thursday, August 29, according to the Thai Meteorological Department. Abundant rainfall is expected throughout this time, according to analysts, who say that the southwest monsoon is intensifying over the Andaman Sea. The conditions are expected to bring heavy to very heavy rain to the region, including Ranong, Phang Nga, Krabi, Trang, Satun, and Phuket provinces, and residents are being advised to be vigilant of flash floods in their respective areas. Waves in the Andaman Sea are expected to reach 2 to 3 meters and over 3 meters in height in thunderstorm areas, according to the weather advisory. All ships are being told to proceed with caution and avoid thunderstorm areas. Small vessels are being urged to remain ashore. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
Just before you break a bone. Oh,
set against the backdrop of Phuket's push to become a special administration area or zone with the power to elect its own governor. A foundation dedicated to promoting decentralized political and electoral power across Thailand has been on the island over the past week, discussing how this could happen for all of the country. Thailand has 76 provinces, but only 2 areas around the country are allowed to elect their own leaders and keep a semblance of autonomy from officials in the capital. Those 2 areas are Bangkok and Pattaya, both of which have the status of special administrative zones or special administrative areas. That gives the citizens of those areas the power to self-govern and elect their own governor for a 4-year term, along with a small council. This brings with it the right to have locals decide on how funds should be spent within those areas. For years, there's been a big push to have Phuket become a special administrative area, especially with the growing population and the big tourism dollars that the island generates, having already far surpassed Pattaya in that respect. Set against this backdrop, an event took place last week organized by the Foundation for the Promotion of Local Administration in collaboration with the Konrad Adenauer Foundation of Thailand and the Andaman Natural Resources Conservation Foundation. The event in Ratchada brought together experts and representatives to propose appropriate models and guidelines for the election of provincial governors nationwide. They drew comparisons to European models where local governments play a key role in self-management. Back in April of this year, Phuket Governor Sophon Suwanarat, himself a Bangkok-appointed official, voiced his support for Phuket to be given special administrative status. He highlighted the island's pressing needs and the current system's limitations at addressing those needs, especially when it comes to greater fiscal autonomy. The appointed governor suggested the establishment of an elected provincial governor and a new mechanism by which a portion of provincial GDP and tax revenues would be reinvested locally. In addition, a request has been made to Bangkok to permit Phuket to become a special administrative zone, and for Phuket to receive a budget allocation of not less than 1 to 5% of the revenue generated by the island's own tourism sector that is currently all handed over to the central government. For more, visit thephuketnews.com. Last year, former Premier Srettha Thavisin had pledged his support of regulations that would legalize prostitution in Thailand. And while new Prime Minister Patong Shinawatra has yet to address the matter, Patong's leading figures are unanimous in their support for safety and health reasons for both the workers and customers. Premier Shinawatra, who was selected as the country's youngest prime minister less than 2 weeks ago, is still in the midst of naming her cabinet in Bangkok, but her predecessor, Srettha Thavisin, had stated last October that he would push for the passing of amendments to the 1996 Act on Illegal Prostitution that would, in essence, regulate the sex industry in Thailand. In Phuket, Patong is the home of the sex industry on the island, and regulating the industry is something that is supported by the Patong mayor, his deputy mayor, and the president of the Patong Entertainment Business Association. In an interview with the Phuket News, Patong Mayor Chalermsak Manisri and Deputy Mayor Lalita were in agreement that health issues is the biggest concern. The mayor said, quote, "I believe legislation would lead to better control and safety for both sex workers and tourists. It'll help track and elevate safety and security and bring more sex workers into the system for proper health checks and protection measures." According to Deputy Mayor Lalita, statistics show a growing trend of rising HIV cases in Patong. In 2022, Patong saw 714 HIV cases, with 785 in 2023 and 822 in 2024. This also tracks with a growing number in all of Phuket, with just over 5,500 in 2022, almost 600 more cases in 2024, and just over 6,200 cases this year. Both the mayor and deputy mayor argued that regulating the sex industry in Thailand would make it so sex workers would be more comfortable and able to get regular checkups from government health services. The deputy mayor stated, quote, "Legalizing sex work is important, but building trust in government services is even more crucial. The government needs to ensure that information is kept safe and secure, protect privacy, and maintain confidentiality in the services provided." Meanwhile, PEBA President Widawit Krusombat agreed, saying that it's well known that places like Patong in Bangkok, Pattaya, and Patong in Phuket cater to sex tourism, but that government officials and police choose to keep quiet while acknowledging their activities. While touting the economic benefits for the province through taxes, for sex workers and customers, Widawit stated, quote, The work and conditions would be open to inspection by a range of government offices providing services, including health checks. And just like the entertainment zones for venues allowed to remain open until 4 a.m., we can make sure that no such venues are near schools or temples. For the full article and to learn more, visit thephuket.com. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Phuket Extra, brought to you by pdcphuket.com. Don't forget that you can stay up to date on all these stories over at thephuket.com. We'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.
Phuket's rapid modernization has made it one of the world's premier holiday destinations. Investors can still buy quality condominiums for as low as $75,000 and luxury properties can go all the way up to 20 million. Condominiums in Phuket are a safe, secure bricks-and-mortar investment offering foreigners freehold ownership. Call or email Thai Residential, Phuket's #1 trusted real estate advisor, to find your perfect Phuket property.